Folks, this is a live look in Uvalde, Texas, where earlier today, a 19-year-old man walked into a school in Uvalde, Texas, opened fire on students there. He killed one teacher, 14 students. He was shot and killed by police who responded to the scene. Another tragic shooting happening here in the United States. Our children are not safe at all, even when it comes to sitting in the classroom. Here is Texas Governor Greg Abbott at a news conference sharing details about what happened today.
The shooter was Salvador Romas, an 18-year-old male who resided in Uvalde. It's believed that he abandoned his vehicle and entered into the Robb Elementary School in Uvalde with a handgun, and he may have also had a rifle, but that is not yet confirmed according to my most recent report. He shot and killed horrifically, incomprehensibly, 14 students and killed a teacher. Mr. Romas, the shooter, he himself is deceased and is believed that responding officers killed him.
Well, I'm kind of it's interesting that Texas Governor Greg Abbott would call this incomprehensible, considering we have seen this happen over and over in this country. We can talk about, of course, years ago, Columbine, 10 years ago, Sandy Hook, where 20 kids were shot and killed, Parkland in Florida, Santa Fe, Texas, about 4 years ago, where students were killed there, mass shooting in El Paso, Texas, mass shooting in Sutherland, Texas. These things have been happening all across this country. In fact, since the mass shooting in Sandy Hook, where those 20 kids were killed, there have been 3,500 mass shootings in the United States. Senator Chris Murphy was on the floor of the U.S. Senate, and at one point he kneels down and says to his GOP colleagues, "When are y'all going to do something about this?"
There are 14 kids dead in an elementary school in Texas right now. What are we doing? What are we doing? Just days after a shooter walked into a grocery store to gun down African American patrons, we have another Sandy Hook on our hands. What are we doing? There have been more mass shootings than days in the year. Our kids are living in fear every single time they set foot in a classroom because they think they're going to be next. What are we doing? Why do you spend all this time running for the United States Senate? Why do you go through all the hassle of getting this job, of putting yourself in a position of authority, if your answer is that as this slaughter increases, as our kids run for their lives, we do nothing? What are we doing? Why are you here?
Folks, not only that, just to understand again, this infatuation with guns in this country, this is a tweet that Texas Governor Greg Abbott sent out in 2015. Yeah, this is what he put. "I'm embarrassed. Texas #2 in the nation for new gun purchases behind California. Let's pick up the pace, Texans NRA." Again, look at the date there. That was on October 28th, 2015. Folks, tell that to these people right here. You see the tears as a mother, as a woman there just on next to this fire hydrant who was just in tears by what took place. Folks are trying to console her with this tragic shooting. Uvalde, a city of 15,000 people, and here you have 15 people who are dead as a result of a gunman. To also understand what has been happening in this state and in this nation. Just last year, the Republicans in Texas led to actually relax the gun laws, lowered the age force someone to buy a gun to the age of 18. In fact, they got rid of the concealed carry permit, allowing people to carry a concealed gun without a permit. Georgia did the exact same thing. And so the answer in America to more mass shootings from the right is more guns. Tell her that. There are 14 children who will not be coming home tonight. There's a teacher in Uvalde, Texas, who will not be coming home tonight. And all we keep hearing from elected officials is thoughts and prayers. Earlier today, Brian Tyler Cohen sent this tweet out. This is Tony Gonzalez, who represents the district that contains the elementary school in Uvalde, Texas, that just got shot up. This is a tweet that he sent out. I voted no on 2 gun control measures in the House today. I am a proud supporter of the Second Amendment and will do everything I can to oppose gun grabs from the far left. He also tweeted, the far left will never stop trying to take Americans' guns. I am proud to fight for the number 2A, the Second Amendment, in Washington. There's a difference between somebody saying, I support the Second Amendment, and then someone who says, we should have no gun control whatsoever. That literally is what we are dealing with here now in the United States. And so the question then becomes, how many more shootings? How many more kids getting killed? How many more funerals? When exactly do folks realize that we have more gun deaths in this country than anywhere else? I saw one stat that America represents 5% of the world's population, yet owns 42% of the world's guns. My panel, Mustafa Santiago Ali, former senior advisor for the Environmental Protection Agency, Lauren Victoria Burke, writes for the GRIO, as well as NNPA, Robert Patillo, executive director, Rainbow Push Coalition, Peachtree Street Project. Glad to have all 3 of you here. Robert, you often talk about the guns that you own. But the point that I said earlier, there's a difference between folks who support the Second Amendment, but who also understand that you have to have some controls in the country when it comes to guns, and then those who say, what the hell, it's a free-for-all.
Well, look, I think if you look at the text of the Second Amendment, even for, I'm a strong Second Amendment person, it says a well-regulated militia being necessary. It doesn't say everybody to get what you want to go out there and have fun. It says a well-regulated militia. So I think Congress needs to take up that mantle and actually start putting in place some safeguards. For example, you can be younger and buy an AR-15 in this country than you can be to buy a wine cooler, because you have to be 21 to purchase alcohol, but only 18 to purchase an AR-15. I think that's something we can handle on the federal level. In order to get your driver's license or your permit to be able to drive, you have to take a safety class. Well-regulated militia. I think that's completely reasonable to require a training and safety class when someone purchases a firearm. I also think that it's completely valid to have background checks. I think there are definitely some things that we can come together on and agree on, but I think because the gun lobby in this country basically controls one political party, you can't even have the most basic of compromises take place, which makes it so difficult to have anything except for executive action in order to address this rash of shootings we've had.
And then that one party then brands, oh, the far left, they're trying to steal our guns, trying to take our guns. No, they're actually trying to make sure that our kids are coming home safe. Lauren, this is a tweet that Congresswoman Jackie Spires posted 6 minutes ago. She tweeted, "I refuse to participate in another moment of silence on the House floor. I want a moment of action. No guns for anyone under 21. All guns must have trigger locks that require fingerprint to be discharged. Felony charges for anyone who doesn't safely lock their gun." Does that sound sensible to you?
Of course it does, but unfortunately, Robert Patillo is absolutely correct. One political party is owned by the NRA. It's as simple as that. It's about money. And as you said earlier, Roland, the answer on the right from Republicans with regard to guns is always more guns and more guns and more guns. And I'm sure you know that the state of Texas has a lot of guns, and that didn't stop anything today. I mean, the idea that, oh, but if we have more guns, we can protect ourselves against the guns is completely ridiculous. It just goes on and on and around and around and around. Donald Trump is talking to the NRA, I believe this weekend. He'll get up there and say absolutely nothing. He'll get up there and pretend that nothing happened today, that nothing happened in Buffalo. And that's how this works. They wait it out. This goes on and on and on, around and around and around, and then more guns get sold. Of course, they lowered the ages because they want to sell more firearms. You know, I mean, I grew up around guns because I had a law enforcement officer as a father. He was also a hunter safety instructor, whatever. The point is, nobody needs to have the type of weaponry that this idiot had in Buffalo that murdered all these people. Absolutely nothing. The incident at Virginia Tech, the guy had a bulk loader. He had a handgun, but he had a bulk loader, so he'd have to change magazines. There's no reason for anybody to have that. There's just no reason. You're not hunting with that. Everybody knows it. We keep going around and around. Nothing changes. Chris Murphy out on the floor of the Senate is absolutely right. Question is, what are we going to do about it? What exact action are we going to take? And I would suspect the action would be absolutely nothing if I had to guess.
All right, folks, back to our Roland Mark Unfiltered video in just one moment. Folks, Black Star Network is here.
Hold no punches!
I'm real revolutionary right now. Black power!
Support this man, Black media. He makes sure that our stories are told.
Thank you for being the voice of Black America, Roland.
Stay black. I love y'all.
All momentum we have now, we have to keep this going.
The video looks phenomenal.
See, this difference between Black Star Network and Black-owned media and something like CNN.
You can't be Black-owned media and be scared.
It's time to be smart.
Bring your eyeballs home.
You dig?